tapping into life, we're ready to shine. With every step forward, we're crossing the line. Embrace the hustle, let the fire ignite. Together we rise, we'll conquer the night.
Welcome to another episode of the Tapping Into Life podcast. I am your spiritual life coach, Matthew B., back with another episode. I am trying, when I tell y'all, that technology be technologying, I am trying to, let me see, give me 1 second, y'all. Where is it at? Okay, there we go. Listen, technology be technologying, and every time I get on here, something has changed. And you just got to roll with the punches, especially, if you're relying on technology and all of this to get your vision across and make your dreams come true. But nonetheless, welcome to another episode of the Tapping Into Life podcast. It is so great to know that each and every one of you are still taking the time and investing the time to make you a better you, to heal, to learn about yourself, to know what's causing you pain and detaching yourself from it, from healing from the trauma. Everything that we need to do to be great in life. It is so wonderful to know that each and every one of you are still taking that time to do so. So come on in. I am your spiritual life coach, Matthew B. Y'all grab your drink, your snacks, put on your pajamas, whatever it is that you need to do to be comfortable, to tune in to another juicy, informative episode of the Tapping Into Life podcast. And as you all know, what helps me get through this is a nice cup of coffee. Dark roast with hazelnut creamer, a dash of cinnamon and turmeric is the best thing. When I tell y'all, it's like your grandma giving you a nice bear hug when she see you for the first time and God knows how long. That's how it feels. But welcome. Y'all, it has been a long few weeks. Okay. And I'm the one that in my life and experiencing many things, I like to take a lesson from that. I like to pull something from that that's going to help me, right? So I was scrolling on the social media, all right? I was scrolling on the social media and I ran across this post. And this post was from the post was from this gospel singer. All right. It was from this gospel singer. And now I'm not even going to drop the name. I'm not going to drop the name because that just defeats the purpose of the podcast episode. Okay. But what she posted, and for those who know, y'all know, for what she posted, basically she had been MIA for a while. And and she basically said, people been wondering where I'm at, been wondering why I ain't responding to text messages and phone calls. She said I had to take a step back. This is in her post. I had to take a step back and realize that everybody who say they are in my corner are not in my corner. And you can't call everybody your sister or your brother. Okay, let me say that again. She says you can't call everybody your sister or, or your brother. Because everybody in your corner says in your corner, they are not in your. Mm. Let's take that in for a minute. Let's take a moment to dwell on the simple fact that there's a reality out here that we are living in, and that we have to acknowledge the reality of things. And the reality of things is that sometimes there are some people in your circle, in your space, in your life, who says they're there for you, but in reality, they're against you. Who says that they're going to support you, but in reality, they off in behind your back, trying to tear you down. They're the spy of the enemy. Now, learning that reality and experiencing that in my past, that everybody who say they in my corner ain't in my corner, everybody that smile up in my face don't like me, everybody that you call friend ain't really your friend, everybody that you call brother and sister ain't really your brother and sister. When I tell you that is a reality, that is a God honest truth, and it hurts to digest. It hurts to digest. It's like taking that when you got to go to the doctor, and if you got like an infection or something, like a wound infection, or like the flu, or if you're sick and you need an antibiotic, and you thinking it's this itty bitty little pill, but it's this big behind horse pill about the size of a small rock, and you got to take that once a day. That horse pill. It's like taking the castor oil. It's like taking the NyQuil, not the children's NyQuil. I'm talking about the adult NyQuil, that dark turquoise colored NyQuil. That when you had to take it to the head, and then when you took it to the head, you squint your face ball up like you ate a lemon. You just start shaking like that. Like that's how it feels. That's how it feels. It stings. Like when your grandparents used to put the iodine on your cut, or the alcohol, it stings. It is uncomfortable. Like when you got to go get a shot, especially for those who really don't like needles. The reality of everybody who says that they're in your corner ain't really for you. People who say they're for you, they're not for you. People who say they're in your corner don't belong in your corner. And so when this gospel singer goes and she posts this, I did not find joy in the fact that she had to experience that moment. I found joy in the lessons she learned. I found joy in, okay, I made this mistake. I'm going to learn from this mistake, because it ain't going to happen again. I'm not about to go through this again. And I appreciate her for posting that on her social media. But going back to the simple fact that, okay, how many of our grandmothers done said that? How many of our grandfathers done said that? How many of our aunts and uncles done said that? How many of our big grown cousins, those cousins that were grown when we were kids, how many of them done said that? How many of some of our old teachers done said that? Our mentors done said that. The pastor at the church done said that. God Almighty Himself done said that. All these people done said these things, this statement that everybody who says they're your friend aren't your friend. That everybody who says they're for you, not for you. That everybody that smile up in your face don't like you. How many times have we have heard that or something related to that? And the reality of it is that is a horse pill to swallow. The reality of it is that we be like, I don't know what you seeing, but I don't see it. You said that this person is yada, yada, yada. I don't see it. I don't see it. So I'm going to keep this person in my inner space, in my inner circle. I'm going to keep this person in my space, my realm of peace. I'm going to keep this person within the walls of my boundaries. I'm going to keep this person in my village. Because you're saying, look out for this person. And then when that person shows his or her true colors, and we didn't listen to mommy and daddy and auntie and uncles and the people of the community and the mentors and, the people of the church and God Himself, that when they said that everybody that says they're for you aren't for you. Like we just go on this delusional reality that just because Jesus experienced betrayal does not mean that we're going to experience betrayal from people who are close to us. We have to understand that things are not new under the sun. Nothing's new under the sun. So what you think is unique, it really ain't unique. The stories that you feel that are unique, they're really not unique. They may have different details, but they pretty much have the same message and the same reality and the same revelation. Right? Everybody who says that they're for you are not for you. Everybody who says that they like you don't like you. There are people we have people in our spaces, y'all, who are not here to support us, who are not here to be a good friend, who are not here to be that villager, that support system, to show the love, to uplift and encourage. We have people in our inner circle right now, and we do not know that some of these people are only here because they have an alternative motive. They have an alternative motive. And then in the end, we get stabbed in the back. In the end, we get deceived. In the end, we get hurt. Why must we continue these things? Why must we continue this pattern? We have to ask ourselves that. We have to ask ourselves that, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you that are going to be watching today's episode whose experience, you thought somebody was the best person to have in your life, whether it was a relationship, a work, a coworker, a friend, a family member, all for them at the end of the day to show their true colors, and you understand that they were not there for you. They lied to you. They deceived you. They stabbed you in the back. And now we got to go through this moment of hurt, anger, sadness, ready to punch somebody in the face. You know, we got to go through this moment of healing. We have to deal with this trauma on top of the trauma we're already in the process of healing from. We have to learn the definition of the word friendship. We have to learn the definition of the word support. We have to learn the definition of support system. We have to learn the definition of a villager. We have to learn the definition of the word covering, of the phrase "I got your back." We have to learn the definition of these things, because to be honest with you, we are using the word friend a little too loosely. Just because somebody like to draw like I like to draw, don't mean that they're my friend. Just because somebody laugh at something, that's funny and I think it's funny too, don't mean that they're my friend. Just because somebody likes Jill Scott, like I like Jill Scott, and is a big fan of Jill Scott, like I'm a big fan of Jill Scott, don't mean that they're my friend and that they can be besties to the end. No. It just simply means that you're two people that have one thing in common. Just because you experience the same trauma I experienced, don't mean we friends. It just simply means that we are two people that experience the same trauma. Is the reality kicking in, y'all? Is the reality kicking in? Because a lot of friendships stems from things you have in common with each other. A lot of friendships stem from what you have in common with each other, and the friendship is not built on a solid foundation. The relationship, whatever that relationship is not built on a solid foundation, the foundation of trust, the foundation of respect, the foundation of acknowledging one another's boundaries, the foundation of uplifting, the foundation of practicing spiritual principle, the foundation of holding each other accountable, the foundation of love, the foundation of yin and yang, the foundation of, look, you better get your behind up because, yeah, you had a moment, but you can do this. Keep your head up. Let's go. What do you need from me? There are friendships that are built on sinking sand. They're built on sand. And at the split moment that a wave comes and washes that sand away, the foundation of that relationship is gone. Now you're rattled, you're shooken up, you're hurt, you're angry. Because the wave came out of nowhere and washed the sand away. When in reality, foundations of the relationships we have in our lives should be built on solid ground, should be built on stone and concrete. Stone and concrete, not sand. I'm gonna put this all in perspective, all right? Because y'all know Not only am I a spiritualist, I'm a naturalist. Like, so I kind of get my point across with nature analogies, if y'all understand what I'm saying. We have to learn how to know, how to decipher who has the right and who we need to give access to our inner selves, to our inner space, to our realm of peace. We got to understand that there are some people who are plotting to come into our inner space, to our inner selves, to penetrate the walls of our boundaries like the Trojan horse. We got to understand that there are some people who will smile in our face, but at the end of the day can give two flying you know what's about us, about your sanity, about your peace, about if you live to see another day, about if you successful in life. There are some people who have this motive. Because I don't have what you have, I'm going to play the game, get in your inner circle, take what you have, and then I'll have what you had. There are some people who lack the capacity, the knowledge, and the wisdom to achieve whatever it is that they are seeking to achieve, but because you achieved it, but because you're achieving it, they decide that they want to get into your inner space, disrupt your inner space, milk you dry for everything that you have, and at the end of the day, you are a shell of a person. There are people, y'all, you know what? Y'all can resonate. Y'all can resonate, and y'all can relate to what I'm saying. We got people out here. Some of y'all may be these people that will sit up here. They got a good paying job. They got a good paying job, nice place to stay, nice car to drive, nice little, sustainable bank account. They financially stable. They can pretty much do what they want. They can go on vacation and life is great. Peace is there. And then you got these people with their hands out. They got these people with their hands out. These so-called friends, these family members, these loved ones. They got their hands out and will smile in your face because they know that they can get whatever it is that they want to get from you. But the moment you have a rough patch in life, the moment something happens that you lose the money, you lose the job, you lose the house, you lose the car, you may got to move back in with a sibling or a parent. The moment you say, I ain't got it right now, where are these people at? The same people with their hands out, like one of those little gross sisters from the Proud Family. The moment that you say, I ain't got it, the moment that they see you don't have it, they up and leave. And so when you need help, when you need support, when you need encouragement, the same people that you gave all of these things to, they are nowhere to be found. And you ask yourself out of anger, why is this happening? Why they do this? Why he do this? Why she say this? This, that, and the third. I'm here. I'm needing words of encouragement. I'm here. I need prayer. I need somebody to talk to. I need a shoulder to lean on. I need an ear to vent my thoughts to. Why these people ain't here? Because you allowed certain people in your inner circle that were not supposed to have access to your inner circle. And instead of having the boundaries and the guard like Fort Knox or the CIA, you invited these people into your inner space, and your inner space was treated like a community park. Ooh, ooh. So we got community spaces. Ooh, that means any and everybody got access to it. Ooh, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. We got to learn. Whatever knucklehead said that we just got to let our guards down, I really want to know the mental state of this person. I really, and I'm not saying that in a mean, hurtful way, but I really want to know the person who said we all got to let our guards down. How is that working out for that individual? I truly and honestly would like to know, because I doubt very seriously that it's working in their favor. You letting your guards down, treating your space like a community, like a community park. Everybody coming in and out, doing what they want to do. They littering, they doing whatever it is that they want to do. And at the end of the day, you still have the expectations to have a sound, peaceful mind, a clean, fresh air atmosphere. Who's ever believing that you got to let your guard down? Nah. Mm-mm. You can't let your guard down to everybody. You cannot let your guard down to everybody, because the reality of it is everybody does not have access, should not have access to you. Everybody should not have access to your inner peace. Everybody should not have access to your inner self. Everybody should not have access to your heart. Everybody should not have access to your mind. And let's be real, everybody should not have access to your emotions. And definitely everybody should not have access to your body. But we ain't ready for that conversation. Everybody does not need to have access to the 4 spiritual elements of you. Everybody does not need to have access to your spirit. Because if you've experienced you've experienced trauma in childhood, and that trauma was by the hands of somebody who you thought that you could trust, what makes you think that we could be adults, go out here and adult with the expectation that that's not going to happen, and if it does happen, it's not going to have the same effect? Who are we to really believe that? Everybody who say that they're our friend ain't our friend. And that's something, and I'm not saying it just to make a topic for an episode of the podcast. I'm saying it because of experience. People who I thought I could trust, could not trust them. They showed their true colors. People who I call sister and brother, they were not really sister and brother. I think now, currently speaking at this moment, like outside of my biological siblings, I got 2 people that I call sister, and I got 2 women that I call sister, and 3 men that I call brother. Everybody else, I'm not saying that you're less than a person. than the people who I call sister and brother, who I call friend. I'm saying that you don't have the access like they have the access. There are some people outside of my, you know, my outside of my parents and my grandparents who have close access to me, who are in my village that is heavily guarded. Not heavily, heavenly guarded. I got boundaries and angels that protect my village, my inner peace, my inner self, because I refuse to let somebody else slither into my village, slither into my inner self, me give access to that person, thinking that I can trust that person. And at the end of the day, here I am once again being deceived. Not going to happen anymore. And that is one thing that I had to learn over the years. That was something that I did not wake up today and just say, hey, I got it. No. I had to make that mistake a couple of times, but after a while, I'm like, no, hold on, wait a minute. Something got to give. If I'm continuing to make this mistake over and over and over and over again, I need to figure out why I'm making this mistake over and over and over again. I need to learn from this. What is the lesson that I need to learn? You know, and at 34, I am happy having a small group of people in my little inner village. It's a cute little inner village. It's a cute little inner village. Got a couple, got a few houses or whatever. Got a nice little garden in the middle with the pretty little pond in the middle and the flowers and the trees, and we got a little garden off to the side full of all the nine fruits of the likeness of the spiritual universe and God, and it's just so pretty and beautiful. It just so pretty and beautiful. All the pretty color of the flowers, the hummingbirds, the butterflies. You can smell the honeysuckles. Taste that good fruit in my village. We have a big feast every day. Help each other out, encourage each other, pray for each other, extend a helping hand to each other, cheer each other on. It's a nice little village. It's a nice little pretty little cute village. It's like little Mr. Rogers neighborhood, but like a little more natural, a little more nature to it. Really, 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 really cute. Not a lot of people have access to. A lot of people can't explain how wonderful it is. It's just like a little mini paradise sitting on the island, heavily guarded by boundaries and angels. When I tell you, that is the best place to be for me. That is the best place to be in my realm of peace, my village. Well, I have my support system. And knowing that I can relax and be who I am. If I do something wrong, I'm not going to get judged, but these people who are in my village are going to say, hey, you know better. You know better, Matthew. You know that's not like you. Come here, let me pop you upside the head, because you know daggone well that's not like you. Everybody ain't for you that say that they're for you. And why do we honestly, and I'm going to say we, because like I said, it took me years. I should have learned this at some point way before, but it took me years. Why do we continue to ignore the red flags as it pertains to somebody being in our lives? And let's include relationships with this too. And I'm just saying relationships in general. I'm not specifying a particular relationship. I'm just saying relationships, like intimate relationships in general. There are some people who are involved in intimate relationships, and at the end of the day, the person really didn't give two flying you know what's about them. They just wanted whatever it is they wanted. Oh, you can no longer provide that for me. I'm gonna dip. There are some people like that. So those little TV shows and movies where somebody get involved with somebody, and they, you know, and they all lovey dovey and Gucci gaga, you know, they all mushy and in a romantic relationship, and at the end of the day, that person scheme and scam and betray them. That stuff happens in real life. Believe me, you. Believe me, you. I'm 34, but I'm gonna tell you now, I experienced a lot of stuff. Just saying. Believe me, you. We got to be mindful of who we let in. And the question is, and I know, the question is, Matthew, how in the world do we know who has the alternative motive? You know, how do we know? I'm gonna be real with y'all. Here's how you do it. You got a piece of paper, write it down. You know, if you got the screen recorder on your phone, screen record it, do something. I'm about to tell you how to decipher who is really there for you and who ain't. I'm about to tell you who is a true friend and who not. I'm about to tell you who is the wolf in sheep clothing. I'm about to tell you. You ready? Here goes. First, you got to know who you are. Oops. Yeah, we're going back to self-accountability, self-acknowledgement. We got to understand who we are. We got to hold our own selves accountable. We got to love ourselves. We got to find that peace within ourselves. We got to know what makes us happy, know what makes us mad, know what has caused us trauma. We got to do all that healing. We got to do all of that. Put in the work to make us a better us. We have to work on us, get in tune with the spiritual universe, which is the likeness of God. And when you get in tune with the spiritual universe and the likeness of God, you will start seeing things that you never, ever, 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 ever thought about seeing. You will smell things that spiritual nose will be on point. You will start smelling stuff a mile away. Them spiritual eyes are like 20/20 vision. We'll start seeing stuff a mile away. You will start sensing stuff. You will start sensing stuff. That intuition, you know that intuition in y'all. Some people call it the third eye. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. However it is you want to define it. That right there will start, you know, something. It will show. It will have you. Something ain't right. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with this friend. Something ain't right. Oh, this lady over here, you know, my cousin May told me, Oh, my friend over here, she said yada yada. Y'all, for those who know me personally, y'all know I will somebody, and if it did not sit right with me, And 9 times out of 10, I'm always right. And I'm not being braggadocious with that. I'm just saying that intuition is strong. But you got to connect with yourself. And when you connect with yourself, your spiritual self, when your flesh connects with your spirit and your spirit connects with the spiritual universe, the likeness of God, however it is you define God, when you align yourself, when all of those align together, you will start seeing things that you never saw before. You will start sensing things that you never sensed before. You will start feeling something when you're around somebody that you never felt before. And it is uneasy, it is uncomfortable, it doesn't sit right with you, it sparks your anxiety. I'm gonna need y'all to learn what anxiety really is. I understand that there's a clinical definition of it, but there's also a spiritual definition of it that conflicts the clinical definition of it. But we ain't gonna get into that right now. That is for a later date on a later episode. I'm gonna do a recording about that. This is a side note. I'm gonna do a recording about that spiritual anxiety. And I just had this conversation with somebody. And when I explain it, it'll make perfectly good sense. But nonetheless, and when you align yourself, your flesh gets aligned with your spirit, and your spirit gets aligned with the spiritual universe. When all three of them become aligned, you will learn how to create boundaries. You will learn how to create boundaries. You will learn how to create a protection for your inner peace, a protection for your spirit, a protection for your individuality, a protection for who you are. And that boundaries, those boundaries, that wall, when you allow the spiritual universe, the likeness of God, to place that boundary within you, he's going to place that in a way to protect you. And you may not understand it right then and there, but quickly you will begin to learn. But he's going to place it. And then you're going to wake up in the morning after that season is over, and you're going to see your village. And you're going to sit up here and you'll see this person over here. Hey, how you doing? Okay, she in my village. All right, I'll snap now. Okay, all right. You see this person over there. Yeah, what's up? All right, you doing good? Good. I'm glad to see you still moving. All right. Then you see these two people over there. You know what? It is good to see y'all. It is good to see y'all and not view y'all. I am so happy that y'all in my village. But then you be thinking, okay, oh, where's Billy Bob? Oh, shit, where Billy Bob at? Let me go and see. Wait a minute. All the houses in my village are taken. They're occupied. Where's Billy Bob? And you just so happen to look on the outer part of your boundaries, and you find out that Billy Bob wasn't really there for you, and now you confused, but in due time you would realize, because them boundaries are not only a protection, those boundaries are also helping you understand and see a lot of stuff. Boundaries also help reveal some things to you, and then you're gonna understand why Billy Bob, his ass is on the other side of them boundaries and not in your inner village. When you set your boundaries into place, you will learn who is there for you and who's not there for you. Because when you set your boundaries, The people in your, like those close people in your life that says that they're there for you, those ones that say that they're your support system, that you're that they're in your village of supporters. These people in your life that say, hey, I'm down with you. You put them boundaries there, then one or two things gonna happen. They're either gonna respect those boundaries or they're gonna get very uncomfortable with those boundaries. And when they get very uncomfortable with those boundaries, guess what happens? They start detaching themselves from you. They start detaching themselves from you. And we got people out here to be like, well, why so-and-so? They kind of standoffish. Like, me and so-and-so used to talk, and we don't talk like that no more. We don't text like that no more. We don't video chat like that no more. I try to hang out. There's always some excuse of why we can't hang out. Like, what's going on? Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing and one thing only. Now, I can't do, y'all may not think like me, but this has helped me a lot. If somebody was once in my life and the communication was good, we were always talking, we always kept in contact with each other, we always seen each other, and at some point I put my boundaries into place, I grew up, I learned, I used wisdom, I aligned myself, and that person slowly start detaching his or herself from me, the communication started dwindling out. I am not for a second going to ask and question why someone is detaching themselves from me. I'm really not. If I know I'm doing everything right to be the best me, if I'm aligning myself with the likeness of God, if I am protecting my peace, if I am healing, if I am growing up, if I am, healing from the trauma, if I am making me better, if I am setting my boundaries, and at the end of the day, somebody decided they want to be all standoffish and not keep in contact anymore, and the communication starts to fade away, and the time spent together starts to fade away, I am not for a second going to question. That lets me know, however, something in my boundaries did not sit right with that person. Something in my boundaries did not sit right with that person. And that also lets me know that there was an alternative motive in why that person was as close to me as that person was. Like, you ain't got to be all Inspector Gadget and CIA and Homeland Security be out here and be monitoring everything that everybody does that's in your inner circle and monitoring every move. No, all you got to do is set your boundaries. All you got to do is stop ignoring those red flags and set your boundaries. And when you stop ignoring those red flags and set your boundaries, it's just like bug repellent. They're going to go away. They're going to go away. When you set your boundaries and people start distancing themselves from you, they had an alternative motive. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no excuse that we can give to why that person is, oh, well, no, ain't no, oh, well. This is your close inner circle of people. Ain't no, oh, well. That person had an alternative motive. And had you not would have set your boundaries into place, that person could have done a lot of damage to you. Be vigilant, set your boundaries in place, and you will know who's here for you and who's here and who's not here for you. You will know the wolves in sheep clothing. Not only do we have to have, not only do we have to have eyes like an eagle, we also have to have eyes like an owl. Eagles see very well in the light of things. Owls see very well in the darkness of things. We have to be vigilant, mindful. Listen to that intuition or that Holy Spirit or whatever it is that you were going to call it. Listen to that conscious, that conscious, and when the conscious they start rounding up and they be like, Matthew, no, come here. Something ain't right about that person over there. I don't know what it is, but you need to be very, very mindful of that person over there because, yeah, something ain't right. Learn how people move. When you set your boundaries in place and you let it be known what your boundaries are, watch and see how people move. There are going to be some people who move differently. And the ones who move differently, 9 times out of 10 are the ones who had the alternative motive and really was not there for you. I sleep peacefully knowing that I got about 5 people in my village as of right now. Excluding my parents. Excluding my parents and my grandparents, okay? Excluding my parents, my grandparents, some cousins, some aunts and uncles. I'm talking about like people outside of my biological family. And to be honest with you, there's some people in my biological family who are not in my village. Oop, let's talk about it. There are some people in your biological blood family that should not be in your village, should not have access to you, should not be in your close inner space, should not be sitting with you in your realm of peace. They know you got something. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Can I get this and this and this? And the moment you say no, you don't hear you don't even hear a response. You don't hear nothing else from them. I really think I just put a lot of cousins of mine on blast right there. I really think I just did that. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody does not need to have access to you. Everybody should not have access to you. But we got to learn how to decipher who's there for us and who's not there for us. And like I said, once you get in tune with you and you align you with the spiritual universe and the likeness of God, I'm telling you, you gonna know. God gonna extend his hand out and say, hey, here's your boundaries. Based on who you are and who I created you to be, here is your boundaries. And you put them boundaries in place, yeah, you'll know. There are gonna be some people out there in your inner circle that was in your inner circle that are no longer in your inner circle. There are gonna be some people out there, you go looking for them in your inner circle or in your inner wall of your boundaries, and you look and they done hauled behind right on out the gates because they can't align with your boundaries. And your boundaries is revealing something to you about them. Ooh. Let's keep it $150. So as we depart, let us all begin to redefine the word friendship, redefine the word village. Make sure, we got to make sure we know what these meanings are. And if we are applying these things properly. Know what your boundaries are. And if you don't know what your boundaries are, if you don't have any boundaries, get you some boundaries. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Because at the end of the day, it's either them or you. And I don't know about y'all, but my peace is more important than what everybody else got going on. And I refuse to have my peace compromised and my village compromised, my realm of peace compromised by wolves in sheep's clothing and people who are incapable of doing what they need to do to be great in their lives. So they decide they want to hop in my life and try to milk me dry for everything I have. Nah, not gonna happen. So as we depart, take this, please take this, study this, dwell on this, replay this, write some notes down. And I want y'all to really, really, really think about this moving forward, because I do not want y'all to continue to be hurt by people who say that they're for you and they're really not for you. All right. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here. Always remember that we are full episodes you can find on Spotify, Tapping Into Life podcast. You can find also full episodes on YouTube, Tapping Into Life, all one word. You can also find us on YouTube Music, Tapping Into Life podcast. You can follow us on the Tapping Into Life LLC page on Facebook. You can also find us on TikTok, Tapping Into Life. I think there's an underscore. Somebody got an underscore somewhere, and I can't remember. But if you go on the Tapping Into Life LLC page, you will find a link tree that has all of the social media places you can find full episodes, places you can find little clips and things or whatnot. I'm going to start bringing guests back on, and we're going to have conversations on the podcast. I'm also thinking about doing a panel discussion, which I think that will really, really, really do well. Okay, so y'all keep watching, keep watching. All right. Until next time, I am your spiritual life coach, Matthew B. Y'all take care, be blessed, and always remember to tap into who you are.